currently retrograde in the sign of Capricorn, and will be retrograding all the way back to, I believe it's 25 degrees of Sagittarius. And so, in tonight's episode of Astrology After Dark, I'm going to be talking about how you can use this Mercury retrograde to start the process of reinventing yourself. Okay. And so if you are new to me, to the channel, or to any of my content in social media land, my name is Katrice. I am the natal chart navigator, and I am a divorce recovery strategist. And I help divorced women emotionally balance and reinvent themselves based on their astrological natal chart using my natal healing method. Okay, so let's jump into it. Mercury is in retrograde. Okay, so why is this important? Well, Mercury is the planet of communication. It's also the planet of our thoughts. It's communication, thoughts, and so quite a few other things. But we just don't talk about the communication and the thought processes. Okay, so it's also the mind. Okay, represents the mental realm. Okay, among other things. So when Mercury is in retrograde, okay, now it appears to be moving backwards from the Earth's point of view. Okay, it's not really moving backwards, but it appears that way. Okay, so it makes the things within the realm of what Mercury has influence over. It makes those things kind of wonky as while it is in retrograde. It's normally in retrograde about 3 or 4 weeks at a time, okay, in a sign. And so it's currently retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. And so in about 25 minutes, we will be in Capricorn season and we will be experiencing the winter solstice. So, you know, happy winter solstice and happy birthday to all of my Capricorn ladies out there. It's your solar return. Enjoy it, enjoy it, enjoy it. Okay. So while Mercury is in retrograde, you want to use this time so that you can really start thinking about how it is that you want to um, shift and reinvent yourself. Okay. So if you have never pulled your chart, you want to pull your chart, you go to astro.com. In the description of the video, I do have uh, what is it, tutorial for astro.com from my from the channel. Okay, it's here on the channel, but it shows you how to pull your birth chart. Okay, and let me put my link tree here. It is uh, link tree / natal chart. Let's see here. I'll make a V. I think it's just natal chart now. Okay. Let me show that. Okay. Linktree dot I think that's it. But if not, it'll be in the comments. The link is it's in the description because sometimes I can't remember that off the top of my head. Okay, so first off, you want to look at where Mercury is in your chart, okay, and then you want to tap into the method, okay, into the healing method. So we're going to look. We're going to start at the first step, which is in, okay, and so you want to look at where your Mercury is, what house it is in, okay, and you also want to look at what house Sagittarius is in. Okay, so it's the houses right next to each other. So wherever you have Capricorn, then you just go one house back, and it'll be Sagittarius. Okay. Now, for me, example, right now it is currently retrograding in my sixth house. Okay, sixth house is the house of our daily routines and illness. Okay, so it's currently retrograding here. and then it's going to shift back into Sagittarius, which is my fifth house. Fifth house is the house of children, and it is also the house of our creativity, and love and romance. Okay, dating. Okay, so you you want to look at the house, look at where it is in your chart, and look at both houses. Okay. Now, if you have any other planets in that house, you have to take that into account as well because it all works together. Okay. Um, and you want to, um, when you are looking at the house, you are wanting to figure out, okay, what aspects about this house do I need to revise into what it is that I want to see within my life, within this area of life? Okay. Um, Now, if you have not gotten your free copy of the three-step framework, that is the first three steps of the natal healing method. Okay, so the N, the A, and the T. Okay, if you have not gotten your free copy of that, you do want to go to my link tree right there on the screen and get that. Okay, the copy of that. The link tree is also in the description, but it's the first three steps, and it really breaks down in detail the first three steps. Okay, and so you want to go and get that. Okay, now um, you look at those two houses. You figure out, the significations of each house, and what within that house you want to change, you want to see differently within your life. You want to redo. Okay, and so, example, for me, sixth house is the house, like I said, of work and illness. And so, for me, I am focusing on my daily routine, um, because it's kind of like, going forward, I want to get my routine more efficient. Okay. I want to get my routine more efficient. And I also want to work on my health. Okay. I talked last night about, if you didn't know, I was diagnosed with an autoimmune disease. And so, 2024, this year, this is going to be something that I'm really working on. Um, as far as like my health. Okay. And then it's going to go move back into the sign of Sagittarius, which is the fifth house. And so the fifth house is your creativity, it's your hobbies, it's dating, it's romance. And so I am really rethinking and redoing how I present content to you all. And so, this has been an amazing one so far. I have really gotten a lot of things, in place. And come next year, come spring 2024, first quarter of the new astrological year, I have something really big that I'm going to be unveiling. But I'm really doing the groundwork for that now. Okay. And so it's really giving me, this retrograde has really been giving me like that clarity that I need, um, for what I want to see, um, moving forward. Okay. So you want to, figure out what each house stands for and what it is that you want to revise, redo, so that you can see change within, okay, the next year. Okay. And so you also want to look and see, if you have a little R by your Mercury, that means your Mercury is retrograde, was retrograde when you were born. So when Mercury goes retrograde, Mercury is operating the way your Mercury operates. It operates the way Mercury operates when it's retrograde. So Mercury retrogrades are an amazing time for you to, they're like a catalyst for you to really propel yourself for when Mercury goes direct. Um, and I am speaking from experience because my Mercury was retrograde at the time of my birth. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, it's like my, everything's so clear and things just come to me so quickly. Like when it's direct, sometimes it takes me a minute to, really grasp, something. I have to really like focus in on it and right. And so then when it's retrograde, things come to me really quick. Like, it works because this is the energy. This is how it's used to operate. This is how it operates. So when it does do this, it's like, oh my gosh, it's game time, right? And so you want to also evaluate that because if your Mercury is retrograde, you definitely want to take advantage of this is the best time for you to really sit down and really reevaluate those areas of life because you're going to be really clear. Your mind is going to be operating really well. And so you're going to be able to really make a whole. You're going to make a whole. You can make a whole lot of leaps and bounds when Mercury is retrograde. That make stuff that may have taken you all year to try to figure out. When Mercury goes retrograde, it's like, oh crap, you know what I'm saying? I got it, right? And so you definitely, if you are a fellow Mercury retrograder, natal retrograder like myself, this is the best time for you to really sit down and get things together. Now, you want to have a journal. I would recommend that you have a journal that is specific to your astrology healing, okay? Because you want to keep all of your information in within your journal. And I shouldn't say a journal because you're really going to be doing. I mean, I guess you could use a journal. Um, I when I first started out, I had a notebook like this, just a spiral notebook that I started because I wrote out all the planets and what they signify, what they influence, wrote out all the signs, how they operated, what the houses represented, the areas of life that the houses represented. And so I put all of that information into a notebook. You really want to have someplace concise, like just one notebook, so that you can have all of your basic astrology education stuff. Because you're gonna going forward within the method, you're gonna have to reference back to that. Now, if you are kind of astrology, like you're not brand new to astrology, and so you do have a more of a advanced level of astrology, then you may just want to get a little journal, okay, like this, right? Because you already know the basics of astrology. So now you're just really applying the method. So you may want to just get this, okay? But either way, you want to have something to where you can, no matter where you fall, you want to have something to where you can have everything there. So you can just pick up that particular book when you are working on the method, okay? Um, and also you want to have a book, like if you I'm a journal person. So this is like my personal journal where I write personal things in. And this journal is more so like astrology stuff, I guess I would say. Um, yeah, this is more so like like basic astrology stuff. And it's also my notes, for content and stuff as well. But I have a journal where I write down, my feelings, how I was feeling, what I was going through. I think this one goes back to 2019. Okay. Man, I remember what I was doing. I think it goes back to the beginning of this one starts February 9th, 2019, right? And I don't write in it every single day, but I do write in it, and this is more so, um, I talk about plans. I put my plans and things of that nature in here. But anyway, that's a lot of rambling. But you do want to have a some type of journal where you can kind of keep everything in one. Okay, and you may have a personal journal and a journal for the healing method. It's totally up to you, but you need at least something. Okay. And so write this down in your journal. Make your notes, your intentions, what it is that you want to do. Put it all in there. Make sure you date it because you want to be able to go back and see. So when the next cycle of retrograde, you can look back and see, okay, the things that you decided you wanted to, do over or whatever, then you can look back at the beginning of the next retrograde cycle, so you can see, okay, how far did those plans go, and then you're looking back, and you can see if you need to make changes. Now, the next retrograde cycle will not be in Capricorn. Um, it will be in, I think it's fire next year. Which, if it is, I'm excited. I have to double check. I'm excited for that. Um, the Earth ones, I was excited for the Earth ones. The Earth ones were really, really good for me based on my chart. Now, based on your chart, the retrogrades in fire, because I believe fire is the next element. Um, those will be, really good for you. Okay. It really just depends on how your chart is set up. Okay. And so let's see here. I'm trying to see if that's everything. So yeah. So yeah, you want to just look at the houses where you are. So step one, look at where learn your Mercury. If you don't know your Mercury placement, learn that. That's the natal. Okay, that's the N in the natal. Um, the A is you want to look and see if it's making any aspects, if it's making any um, points or touches to your natal placements. Okay. And then you want to, it's a transit. So you always want to look and see where, what planet it is, so you'll know what influence is going to be, you're going to be really tapping into. So this is Mercury, so it's mental, like the mental influence, and so those are the first three steps. You want to write that down in your journal, and then you want to start writing. Okay, what is it that you want to see happen? You, what is it that you're going to stop doing? Okay, you're going to stop doing something because you're going to make changes because when Mercury goes direct, you're going to start implementing those changes. Okay, and make sure that you have at least one. Okay, preferably two, because if you're a journaler, if you like journaling, okay, then you probably want to, because you want a personal journal, okay, and then one that's strictly for the natal healing method. Okay. All right, and so that is how you can use this Mercury retrograde to start planning your reinvention. Okay, to start mentally planning out your uh, the reinvention of yourself. Okay, and so um, if you found value, then please do share out so that some other woman can find value as well. Okay. Um, why I just went like, oh my gosh. Okay, so if you would like to work with me, if you would like to get your get a taste of what the natal healing method is, you can book a 20-minute energy audit with me. Okay. And that's where I go over your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. Those are your big three. Okay. I go over those and then I give you, I explain to you, what each influence is. And then I give you some tips on how you can start utilizing that energy within your life to start, you know, getting emotionally balanced and the reinvention of yourself. Okay. And so if you would like to book an energy idol with me, you can go to my link tree and book that. Also, if you have not gotten your free copy of the three-step framework, the N, the A, and the T in the healing method, then you definitely want to go and get that. Um, and yeah, I think that is it. All right. And so remember that possibilities are endless. If you can see it in your mind, then you can definitely hold it in your hand. And that should make you smile because you really do create your own reality. Have a good one.